I'm a survivor. I will survive. I will survive. And I'm a firm believer. We'll forever shine just to stay alive. That simple means it. Nobody can hold me man. Nobody can change my energy. Nobody can hold me sick. I will let alone negativity. Nobody can hold me man. Nobody can change my energy. Nobody can. Nobody can. Everybody show me some strength. No weakness. Show me a man. Strength. No weakness. Show them who we are. Strength. No weakness. Show me a man. Everybody strength. No weakness. Show them who we are. Not when you're old. Your enemies, they must tremble. Your enemies, they must tremble. Yo, not when you're
This is Ridelaong Live, where everyone has a story to tell.
You gotta be firm in this time, son. You gotta be strong.
Hey, ride along. Welcome to the ride. Welcome to Wednesday on the ride. Everybody, welcome to Wednesday. Master Control is my name. So, see somebody hack into my system and call me Master Control. Why is that? Hey, good evening to you, Jillian Alexander Frederick. Good night to you, Jillian. How you doing? Charlene Mark, I see you. Leslie J. How you doing, Leslie J? Lydia James, where are you? We calling you. Hey, my good friend, Jada. How you doing, Jada? Big up yourself. I have to hold on, guys, bear with me. I have to cross post this thing on some pages. So guys, do it with me. There are a few people who absolutely need to see this program, so I'm going to share it to them, because we're not selfish on a Wednesday, right? We're not going to be selfish on a Wednesday, because today we're talking about what's breaking news in immigration, and there are a lot of things I want you guys to keep up to date with. Hence the reason why we do this program every single Wednesday. So there are some people who said, make sure when you start, I want you to tag me. So I'm doing that right now. And I want you guys to do the same with me. Tag a few people that you know that would be very interested and need to hear this information that we're talking about today as we talk about immigration on a Wednesday. Stand by, guys. Stand by. It's very important. Very important. There we go. Good to go. All right. I'm all yours now. I share. Big up yourself, Max. Maxie, how you doing? Big up yourself. Kelvin Maras, big up yourself. How you doing? Guys, tag a friend. I want everybody to share this program right now to at least one person. Everybody share this program right now to at least one person. Everybody share this program right now to at least one person. One person. Everybody share it right now to one person and say, I share. Everybody share it to one person and say, I share. It's very, very important today. It's very important that you guys do this today. Hey, good night. Ranisha, you share it to one person? You share it to one person? Michael Phillip, how you doing? Big up yourself, Michael Phillip. Chanel Douglas, you share it? Hi, Chanel. Let me know who you share it to. Let me know who you're sharing it to, so we could welcome that person onto the show. All right. I ain't gonna let this happen to me today. Sometimes I usually forget to power on the computer, but that's not going to happen to me today. So let me do that right now. Booyah. Yes, I make sure that we have all the power. Power up, power up. No shutting down today. Good to go. Power up. Ah, there we go. Aisha Kizzy, you share? Nice, nice, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Shirley Mark, you share? Thank you so much. Hold on. Betsy said you shared it to 5? Wow. Impressive. Impressive. The whole of Facebook. Yeah, share it to everybody. Share it to everybody. Share it to everybody. Share it to everybody, guys. Share it to everybody. Everybody. Hello, Nella. How you doing? Peter, speak up yourself. All right, guys. So listen. I'm not sure if you guys have been paying attention. Well. Stand by. Let me tell you what's happening. Oh boy. Are you prefer me in the light or in the dark? Stand by, guys. Fun Day is coming in a quick second. We're talking immigration. There are a lot of things that we need to talk about today. And I know you guys not seeing me, but stand by. You're going to see me again very, very soon. There are a lot of things that we need to talk about right now. And Fun Day is back inside. Fun Day, take it away. Let me fix my light because I'm in the dark.
Okay.
I'm like a job today.
Well, I was going to say, why are you in the dark?
I like it in the dark.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Apparently, Junior is in the dark today. How's everybody doing? I see a new guest, Sharon Bailey. How are you? Lacey, what's up, my dear? I'm traveling today, guys. So I literally just made it to my hotel. And so that's why we're coming in a little late this evening. Hey, Velma, Latrice Niles, good evening. Jillian, Alexandra Frederick, good evening. Rosie Pipe, good evening. Like and share as you come in. I think Junior might have gone through that already, but I'm running a little bit late this evening. I do apologize. My apologies. Hey, Lacey J, how are you? I don't know what Junior has covered yet, but we have a good show lined up this evening. We have a great show lined up. Jillian Alexandra Frederick, good evening. Malia George, good night. It's Wednesday, so you know it's going to be all about immigration and what some of the changes are. LaFleur de Freitas, good night. Good night, everybody. Again, my apologies for joining late this evening. Started out my day. I don't know how many people have started traveling yet. Hey, Tamoy Borland, thank you for sharing. How many people have started traveling yet since COVID? Have you traveled on an airplane? Have you gone? What are your plans for Thanksgiving? So let me share this story with you. I did travel today. And it hasn't been my first trip. Doran Mark said he'll be nice tonight. So this has not been my first trip since COVID, but each time I try to take more and more precautions. So I'm curious if you guys are traveling. I have a case here in Baltimore tomorrow, so I had to travel up to Baltimore this evening. And the airline was interesting. It was interesting. If you haven't traveled, you know they're leaving all the middle rows empty. So I traveled Southwest today up to Baltimore. And so the entire middle row was empty, which was pretty neat. So I had my entire row to myself, but no one was allowed to sit in the middle row. No snacks. I think they came around with water. I didn't take any water because I did not want to take off my mask. So anybody has traveled lately? I'm curious. We have lots of good stuff lined up this evening for immigration. Hey, Miss Geraldine. Hey, gorgeous, she says. Hey, gorgeous. I was just asking Geraldine if anybody has taken the bravery to travel, or if you have travel plans for Thanksgiving, and what does that look like? What are your travel plans? It's Wednesday, so you know we're going to be talking about immigration and all other stuff today. So, June, are you back?
I'm back, but I don't know for how long though, because
What's going on today?
you know there's an electrical company that you see if you don't pay them, they like disconnect you.
So you
It
didn't pay
happened.
them?
No, I didn't pay the bill for the month.
You're joking.
No, I'm
That's
serious.
very
You know, people are gonna take that
that's
and run
very
with it.
Caribbean of you.
It's not true. I'm in a car.
I don't
paid
believe
the
that.
electric bill. All right. No, what happened is I have a lot of stuff in the car. Right. I just got a new mixing board, and I have a light that I have to use because I'm doing it outdoors and it's dark. So because I'm running so much things and the computer, it the fuse in the car, and it's just not charging up fast enough. So like right now my computer is not charging, my light is on, my mixing board is on, but the computer is not charging. So that's why I say I don't know how long I'll be here for, but I'll be here for as long as I possibly can. But the light bill is taken care of. Yeah. But Funday, let me tell you, you actually did something that I haven't done in COVID. I have not traveled. I have not moved. I haven't gone. Oh, yeah, actually, I drove though. I went to Canada, but I drove.
I thought you went to Canada. Okay, so you did go to Canada, but you have not been on an airplane since COVID.
No, I'm actually fearful of COVID, and I haven't.
I think he's frozen.
I'm frozen. I'm frozen. No, I'm good. I should be good. All right, guys, you're watching Ridelaong live, and as you can see, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties today, but we're going to get through with this because today we're going to be talking about. Funday, I think you're breaking up. We're going to be talking about what's the latest and what is important to discuss in immigration today. Funday, you back?
I'm back. I have no idea what's going on today.
Yeah, I think it might be on your end at this point in time. So Funday, I
think it's my end.
Yeah, I want to go straight into it because hell know how long we'll be able to talk for with my computer running low and back. Oh, it's charging up now. So it looks as if we're going to be good for a little while. Funday, I heard yesterday that somebody told me, and I want you to speak on this, right? That the Trump administration is planning to increase the amount of questions on the citizenship test. Is that true? All right. Funday,
I hope I'm not freezing. I see Lacey J say I'm freezing. I can hear you, but Lacey J say I'm frozen.
Nah. Well, you're not frozen now. I'm hearing you, and you hearing me.
Oh, okay. Because Lacey, I thought I was frozen. Okay.
Right. No. So I was saying, Funday. I was saying that I've heard that the Trump administration is planning to increase the amount of questions, citizenship questions, on the naturalization application when you go in. Let's speak a little bit about that. Okay, I think that you're really frozen now. Guys, stand by. We have Deanna Winter Funday, and we're having a little bit of a technical issues. Let's take a quick break, and we will be right back. You're watching Ridelaong live. Don't move.
Hey, I got some good news for you. Looking for a passionate immigration lawyer with experience that spans over 2 decades? Someone trusted that served immigrant families just like yours? Well, look no more. Now you can benefit from her personal and professional experience. Diane Winter Funday. Schedule a consultation now and get assistance with your immigration journey. Specialize in adjustment of status, B1 business visa, B2 visitors visa, consular processing, deportation defense, naturalization, and more. Give us a call today at 813-815-3529. That's 813-815-3529 or online at winterimmigration.com. Attorney Diane Winter Funday. Law done differently.
All right, so we are back. Funday, you back? I'm here. You can hear me.
Frozen? I don't know.
Oh yeah, you're not frozen.
Okay,
I'm seeing
good.
you and everything's good.
Ooh,
right.
Lord.
We had to kind of do this because I really want to get to some very, very important things, right? As it relates to questions on the naturalization application. We're not on the application, but going in and filing. Someone told me that they're increasing the amount of questions from 100 to 128. Let's speak about that.
All right. So I'm looking at my notes here, Junior, if I'm looking to the side. So as we know, there were a possible 100 questions on the U.S. naturalization quiz. They're implementing a revised version of the quiz to include 128 questions. So no longer 100, it will be 128 questions. And this goes into effect for anybody who applies after December 1st of 2020. So if you've applied leading up to December 1st, you will be tested on the old naturalization quiz. For
Right.
anybody who applies after December 1, 2020, they will have to take the updated version, which now consists of 128 questions.
Wow.
Yes.
So how many questions? The last time we did it with you did it with me, which I failed. But it was you was reading it, and then when they get to 6, then they stop.
All right.
So what is the stop number now?
All right. So remember, folks, if you've been watching us, there was 100 possible questions, the officer would pick 10 of those questions. Once you have gotten 6 out of 10 correct, you are good to go. Now, with 128 questions, they're going to pick 20 of that 128, and you will have to get 12 correct. So they've increased that passing from 6 now to 12.
Wow. So all of this going into effect as the lame duck president comes in, or was it something that was?
It is something that started. They had started this under the Trump administration. This was started, but now it will be implemented. They're going into the implementation phase. So it was started. It wasn't something that just came about after the elections. This is something that the administration was working on. And then, now they're just implementing.
Wow. So guys, we want you guys to understand this, right? So if you file for your citizenship, what's the date? What's the date again? Within
December 1st. So if you have filed your application prior to December 1st, you should be okay, right? They're going to test you on that old naturalization quiz, which only has 100 questions. And then of the 100, you only need to get 10 correct.
Okay. All right. So newsflash, you need to know. So you need to now study 128 questions. Now, USCIS is back up. It's back open and conducting interviews. What is new with USCIS? Because this is breaking news. A lot of things are happening.
So it's good news for a lot of people, especially those that have been waiting for so long, Junior. They have been waiting. Remember, we had March, April, May, June. So now the service is back up. For those who had their interviews that were rescheduled, you should have heard something by now. If you had an interview that was rescheduled due to COVID, it is past the time for you to still be sitting on your hands. I would start now reaching out to the service to say, hey, I had my interview. I was rescheduled. I still have not heard a new date. Because by now you should be getting a new date, whether it was naturalization, asylum interview, whether it was a court hearing. The courts are back up and running. I don't know how long that's going to last, but if you had something in the hopper, if you had some kind of documentation and you had, say, for example, a March date that was scheduled to go in and that was postponed, by now you should have heard something from the service. You really should. So if you haven't, it's time for you to reach out and say, hey, I had my interview. It was postponed because of COVID. I want to know if it has been rescheduled.
What about visas? People that seeking visas to come up to the United States. What has changed, and are there any movement in that part of immigration?
I feel like I got to whip my hair on this one, Junior. All right. If you're trying to come into the United States with a B1 and B2, those have been really tightened. In fact, they have been turning some people back. Those that are coming in with B1 and B2s, they're turning them back because
And
essentially
explain to everybody what is B1 and B2s. Just
those are our visitors visa. It's the visa that you get when you say, hey, officer, I want to take my kids to Disney World, or I want to take my kids to go visit grandma, or there's a graduation ceremony going on and I want to take my kids to the graduation ceremony.
Right.
It's going to be next to impossible to convince an officer now that we have a spike in COVID and we have the numbers in COVID that we do have. It's going to be super hard, Junior, to convince an officer that you want to get a visitor's visa to the United States. That's going to be an uphill battle because, for one, the officer is going to say, you want to go to New York, a hotbed? You want to go to Florida where Disney World is open for limited visitors?
Right.
And even those that already have their visas that are trying to come into the country, I've had many calls where they're like, we were turned around at the airport. We were turned back. They boarded their flights. They got to Atlanta. They got to Miami, and they could not convince the officer the purpose of their trip. Because you can't just say you're going to go visit auntie anymore. Because who's going to visit an aunt in New York City during COVID? Who's going to go to Florida? So those are hard sells. Those are really, really hard sells.
So you're telling me that the people that are in Grenada, in Trinidad, in Jamaica right now, that's planning to come up, they have their visa, they had their plan to whatever visit or whatever the case might be. Some of them are getting turned back at the airport.
They are. They're getting turned back because they cannot meet, I call it, they cannot meet their burden. In other words, they cannot convince the officer that they're simply coming for a visit. Remember, Junior, we're in like a pandemic.
Right.
We know where the hot spots are. Nobody in their right mind. You not even want to come to Florida to visit us. Would you come to Florida now? Probably not.
No, thank you. But Florida is Florida. New York. I'm in the middle of the epicenter. I'm in the epicenter of the epicenter twice. That's the second round.
The second round. Do you want to get on a plane and go anywhere to visit anybody at this time?
No, I don't want to go.
Most people are not taking visitors in their homes.
True.
So here you are with your B1, with your visitor's visa, leaving your country, which in many cases, the Caribbean, they have low numbers. The Caribbean does not have a lot of high numbers.
Right.
The Caribbean have all these low numbers, and you're telling me that you're going to convince an officer that in the middle of a pandemic, you have a visitor's visa, so you've taken time off work, and you want to go visit your auntie in New York.
But what is a good reason? Because you have to travel. So
a funeral.
A funeral. Okay.
A funeral is a good reason to say my. I don't want to call death on anybody, but say a family member has passed.
Right.
A loved one has passed, or a loved one. It can't even be the loved one is in the hospital anymore because most hospitals are not allowing you in. You could say, you just have to be able to convince the officer why you need to travel at this moment in time and where you need to go. They're not turning everybody back in a junior. It's not a blanket turn back. Because what they're searching for are those people that are using the B1, the B2, the visitor's visa to come into the country to work for some other reason than merely visiting.
Right. Sandra Thomas on the watch party, she said, I want to go to Texas, but I need my visa renewed. What recourse? First of all, if you need to travel right now, what are some of the reasons or the explanation that you could tell that officer to obtain your visa first and foremost? All right.
So when you're going, so the rules have not changed, right? If you're living overseas and you're going to a consulate to get a visa, any kind of visa, let's take out the green card, Junior. We're not going to talk about green cards. We're not going to talk about your work visas. We're talking about visitor's visa. So you want to go to a consular post to apply for a visitor's visa. They have tightened those rules. They have tightened those restrictions because the country is on a pandemic. Remember, leading up to this, Junior, when you and I and all our friends in Watchland, we were talking about visitor's visa, we said, look, it serves two purposes: to conduct quick business, to come in and conduct business, or to come in and visit family members, go to Disney World, go on a vacation. Those are the reasons for the visa.
Right.
When you go to the consular post, you have to show you have all these ties to your country, meaning if Mr. Officer, you grant me this visa, I'm going for a short visit and then I'll be back. The problem you're having now is that where are you going for this short visit? Who are you going to see on this short visit? Oh, I'm going to New York. Oh, New York is an epicenter times 2. New York have traveling restrictions. Why are you going there now? So it's very hard to overcome these burdens. Or you say you want to go to Florida. Oh, Florida's an epicenter. People are dying. So you need a more solid reason than just, I want to go visit, which is what we have typically used in the past on a visitor's visa to say, I want to go visit. Now somebody said the birth of a child.
Yeah.
You can say my sister gave birth and I'm going to go help with the baby or something of that sort. You will still have to convince that officer that you have all intentions of returning. You have all intents to return.
But what about the place, your place of residence? Because when I was going to Canada, I had to make very clear that where I'm going, there's nobody else there over the age of 65. There's no older person there.
Wow. Yeah.
Right?
So these are the new corona screening questions that are now added. So if you already have your visa, these are some of the screening questions that they're going to ask you upon landing. Where are you staying? How many people live at the house? So these are the things that are feeding into, you do not need to be here right now unless it's an absolute emergency. If you have a B1, B2 visa and you don't have a valid reason to visit the United States, I would not risk it. I've had business people, Junior, turned around, canceled, their visas canceled. I'm talking about business people that are conducting business. So now is not the time to say that you're entering the United States.
Wow. That's some important information here, guys. Someone said that there is an immigration news today regarding naturalization denial because their green card they received prior was eligible. Can you elaborate? Eligible or ineligible?
Eligible or ineligible? Jennifer, give us a little bit more on that, because I think I know what I didn't see the news. I've been traveling all day, but give me a little bit more. I think you want to say the green card they received prior was ineligible.
Ineligible, right?
Yeah, Jennifer, sort that out and we'll answer.
Yeah, and as you guys could call in as well. This is a conversation. This is immigration updates. We do it every single week. The number that you could call in live right now is on the screen: 718-701-5720. That's 718-701-5720. We take in all your immigration questions now, right? 718-701-5720. 718-701-5720.
I see where Dorin Mark says, all of you stay home, let them send money and barrels. I actually agree.
What?
I agree with that. No, it's not the time to say you want to come to the States for Christmas or Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Well,
that's not the best time.
Thanksgiving, because you have to justify, even for Thanksgiving, people are not having like get-togethers. They actually telling people don't have big get-togethers. It's a hot spot. It's I mean, I don't want nobody in my house for Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
really,
nobody does.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Nobody does. Another thing too, and I see Jennifer corrected. She said the prior green card was ineligible. Thanks, Jennifer. I thought that's what you meant. So you said there's an immigration news today. So I didn't see the news regarding naturalization denial because green card they received prior was ineligible. So I didn't see the news, Junior, but I know for a fact, and I've said it 1,000 times on this show, at the naturalization process is where the service corrects itself.
Right.
Meaning when you apply for naturalization, they go all the way back to if you came in on a visitor's visa, they're looking at that application, right? If you came in on an H-1B, they're looking at that application. The service corrects itself. So if at the point of naturalization, Jennifer, the service does its investigating, they're looking at your immigration file, and they find that when you got the green card, for example, when you got the green card, you had made a misrepresentation, right? You had made a misrepresentation, whatever that misrepresentation was. Or if they find that you were, because you can slide some things past the service at some point, Jennifer. So if you slide something past the service and they didn't catch it, if they catch it at the naturalization phase, not only are they denying your application for naturalization, but they also are going to place you in deportation. So it's not just the denial of the naturalization, they're going to place you in deportation where they're going to actually begin to terminate your green card and have you removed from the United States. So that is a good point, Jennifer. I hadn't seen the news yet, but I'll have to take a look at that.
Again, guys, 718-701-5720. We're taking your immigration questions right here. I want you guys to call in and ask your questions right now. This is about very few of the, well, there's not much immigration programs on here on Facebook. This is one of the only program that give you this every single week where you could call in and get your information. This program is sponsored by this lady right there, Deanna Winter Funday. She take time out of her schedule. She blocked the time just to make sure that you guys get the latest information. Now, during the week, a lot of people inbox me, right? And they have questions to ask. And I say, okay, watch the program and call. And they would never call. But instead, after the week, and tomorrow, they're going to message me again and say, well, did you ask my question? No. Did you call? Call right now. This is an opportunity to get clarification on your immigration issues. So call right now. We're going to put the information on the screen again. 718-701-5720. That's our number. I want you to call in live right now. I want to reiterate on the application for a B1, B2 visa right now, and you're not recommending that people proceed with that application at this point. I want you to reiterate on that one more time.
Yeah, I think if you have a true emergency why you need to travel, then certainly you can approach a consulate post. So if you don't have a visa and you have a true emergency, okay, my mother or somebody is overseas, or somebody's giving birth, somebody said, or somebody's graduating, make sure you can point to a good reason when you're going to the consulate. It can't just be, I want to go see California because I've never been. It has to be a little bit more than that. Otherwise, you're running the risk of getting denied. And of course, getting denied is not the worst thing. I'm not saying don't apply. What I'm saying is when you do apply, make sure all your ducks are in a row and you can convince the officer that you have this really valid reason for going to the United States.
Right. Okay, absolutely. I know last week we spoke a little bit about DACA.
We did.
Right? Yeah, we spoke a little bit about DACA. And there will be a new administration that comes in on January 20th. What's your projection for DACA? If you could talk about this again, what's your projection for DACA under the new Biden administration for this millions of people, dreamers that are in that are in limbo right now? What's your suggestion, or what you think would happen when the new administration come in?
All right. So I think, so for those who are joining us for the first time, DACA is Deferred Action Against Childhood Arrivals. It's for those children that have come into the United States. Maybe a parent brought them in or somebody brought them in, but they came in as minors. If they qualify for DACA and they have been renewing DACA each year, all it means is that they get a work authorization and they get a social security number so they can work. There is no pathway through DACA to obtaining a green card, right? So you don't have a pathway. It is just a constant renewal. DACA was introduced by then President Obama under, I think, his first or second term. I think it's his first. And that is for individuals, young children, so they can work. What President President-elect Biden has said that he is going to recommend a bill to Congress so that there can be some pathway for these millions of children that are living in the United States. Some are no adults, believe it or not. Some
Right.
are firefighters, some are paramedics. You'll never know it. But he has proposed, and I think he will. I do believe he will follow through on this, Junior. He has proposed that he will be submitting a bill in order for these individuals to have a pathway to citizenship.
Right. And we have a question here. Is it okay to renew your visa at this time?
I would, especially Sunil, if you've had a good travel history. If you have a visa, right? The advice I was giving earlier was for my new applicants. But Sunil, if you have a really good travel history, so you can show that you've come into the United States, you're not spending 5 and 6 months at a time. You've come in, you've spent a month, you've gone back home, you're not here every year, and you have a good travel history, I would go ahead and request my renewal. For those of you that have, a less than spotted travel history, meaning every year you're here for 6 months, I would just say be careful. I would just say be careful. But if you have a really good travel history, you've had your visa for the last 10 years, I imagine if you're asking about renewing, I would go ahead.
Okay.
I would go ahead.
All right. We have another question that came in here. Can you work virtually in the United States if you
Yes,
have
that is on my list of things to talk about today. Do you remember, Junior? I don't know if you saw my list. That is on my. Okay, thanks for reminding me. The answer is no.
What?
No. Yeah, skin of a face. I know it sounds fun, right? For those teachers that live in the Caribbean, they can say, but wait, let me just go on New York to work. Be very careful because on your visa, first of all, you can come in and sit in somebody's house and do what you want to do, right?
Right.
But if you're ever asked what you're doing in the United States, you cannot say you're working. You cannot say, oh, my job is virtual. You need a different kind of visa for that. And a lot of countries are offering extended visas for people to work virtually. Your visitor's visa does not allow you to work virtually within the United States. You're not allowed to work. You're here to visit. That's it.
You're not. Say, well, it's virtual. It's virtual. I'm virtually there. I'm
absolutely.
Here's another thing. Here's another thing for
what your visa is for.
Here's another thing. So someone is in the Caribbean, right? They're in the Caribbean, and a job opportunity presents itself in the US. It's a virtual job opportunity. Could they take that job?
They will need an employment visa, a H-1B or a L if it's an intercompany transfer. All visas, Junior, have a category, believe it or not. I know you and I spend a lot of time talking about B1, B2 visitors and business. Every single visa has a category. If you are in the Caribbean and somebody wants to hire you, a US company wants to hire you, there is a category for you. There's J, there's H-1B. If it's intercompany transfer, there's L. There's all these categories of where you would fit in. You cannot say, oh, well, since it's virtual, I'm going to take my laptop and enter the United States on my visitor's visa. Then I'm going to sit at mom's house in Long Island and work for this company virtual. You cannot work virtually on a visitor's visa. Who's going to catch you, you say? Probably no one, until the officer asks you, oh, I noticed that you were here for 4 months. What's going on? Oh, I work for so-and-so, but I just work online. You've just admitted to working in the United States without the proper authorization. So no, you cannot accept a virtual position where, you're working for IBM or you're working for PricewaterhouseCoopers. But typically the job is located in the Caribbean. It's located in downtown Kingston, but you're going to take up your laptop and work in the United States.
But isn't the onus on the company not to hire you if you don't have valid documentation to work?
They cannot hire you for a U.S. position through your B1 visa. They just can't.
Right.
and they should not.
Kathy said that that's a no-brainer.
It's not,
No,
Kathy.
it,
Kathy, you'd be surprised how many people asking me, because it seems like the ideal time, right? If you think about it, you're in the Caribbean, you're in Europe, right? And you have your day-to-day job, Junior. All of a sudden, you're working from home. Like my husband, he's gone, right? Because
Right.
now he can work from home. It's exciting.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that trip I've always wanted to take. Let me go to California and stay 3 months, 4 months. And oh, they've offered me a job, and the job is in the Caribbean. I'm just going to take my laptop and go work in the United States. You cannot work in the United States on that visitor's visa.
Right. So, okay, so let's go back again. And that's clear. That's very, very clear. I hope everyone understands that. But here's another scenario, Funday.
Mm-hmm.
You are in the Caribbean. You reside in the Caribbean. You live there.
Okay.
And there are a virtual job opportunity in the United States. You don't travel. It does not require you to travel. All it does is require you to sit in your home in Grenada, in Trinidad, in Jamaica, and do work in the United States. How is that possible? And do you think that those opportunities are presenting itself more so because of the current COVID situation?
So you're saying the company's an American company. I think you're reminding me of call centers.
Something like a call center.
So I think that's fine, because
like a teacher.
And that's perfectly fine. You're working overseas, so they're not offering you a job in the US. What they're offering you is the opportunity to, for example, teach English virtually. So you're not employed. Your employment is not based in the United States. Right. You just happen to get a virtual job that does not require you to be in the United States.
Right. Okay. So
you can do that. You can absolutely, you can do that because you're working in your home country.
Exactly. So the difference of the two is that if you're here in the United States and you don't have a work authorization, you should not work.
You should not. And Jennifer has made it clear. First of all, the employer has to do an I-9. Nobody on a non-worker's visa in the US should sign an I-9. It's like a federal offense because you're saying, I am legally able to work within the United States. You cannot do that, right? If you're working outside of the country, like, an American company hires me to work in Jamaica, that's fine. I'm going to live in Jamaica and work there. But you cannot come into the United States and work here legally on your visitor's visa.
Here's another situation. In New York here, I don't know for the other states, but they started something where non-immigrants or folks that don't have their documents could obtain a taxpayer's ID, right? Mm-hmm. Could they use that to work?
So you cannot, the ITIN, that's what you're referring to, the tax ID number is. So here's the thing, whether you're undocumented or documented, you should be paying your taxes. Right. So I want everybody to separate immigration, like USCIS, from IRS. They're two different companies.
Okay.
Because under the IRS says if you're in the United States and you're working, you should be paying taxes. So what does the IRS say? Okay, legally, you don't have a social security number.
Right.
However, we're going to give you a number, ITIN. We're going to give you this number, and each year you file your taxes. Because guess what? We know you're working. So this is for like my construction workers, farm workers. If you work on a farm, you're picking apples illegally, you're working illegally, or my babysitters, like all those women in Manhattan, Long Island, they don't have social security numbers.
Right.
This comes into play, Junior, because if you go to seek an immigration relief, for example, if you're seeking like a cancellation of removal or some kind of immigration relief, your payment of taxes, I will use that tax history to show that you've been a good, moral, upstanding citizen.
But here where you get stuck, Funday.
You've been a good citizen. You've paid your taxes.
You are being a good citizen. And what's the key word? You worked. You're not supposed to work. So you get stuck.
You won't get stuck. Depends on the benefit you're seeking. So let's say you're seeking cancellation of removal and we're going to show some kind of hardship. What they want to look for is you've lived here 6-7 years. Prove it. Show us that you pay taxes, especially Junior. It doesn't affect the Caribbean that much. But when individuals, and we're getting super technical now, when individuals come across the border without being inspected, a lot of times, you know what I have to use to show that they've been here the requisite time, which is 10 years? I have to show, look, they've been filing taxes the last 10 years because we have no other way to show sometimes of how they got into the country. It's not like they came in through a port of entry. So these documents go to show when I'm seeking my relief in court. This does not work for everything, right? But it works in certain cases. It becomes super helpful when I can say, look, I can show that Sally has lived in the United States for 10 years because she filed taxes the last 10 years. Here it is. Here's some school records where her kids went to school, or here's some, some evidence to show that Sally has lived here for 10 years.
How did Sally obtain that money?
I'm sorry?
How did Sally obtain that money?
Through working. And they know that. Our system is like, let me tell you something. Our system is a hypocrite, Junior. You know how much money undocumented people are paying to the IRS annually?
Yes.
Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars.
So the $1 million question is, Funday.
Yes.
Should you get that ID and pay taxes, or should you just not get that tax ID at all?
I would recommend.
Yeah.
I recommend getting the tax ID. And if you're earning money, here's the thing. The IRS is not reporting you to CIS. The IRS is not going to call immigration and report you. It is more beneficial to pay your taxes than not pay your taxes.
Right. Hey, big up Gary.
You're going to be seeking a relief at some point. You never know what relief. If you've come in lawfully, okay. But if you've come in unlawfully and you're going to seek some kind of relief later on, the fact that you've paid taxes will benefit you more than harming you.
Right. Okay. All right. And I want people to get clarification on this matter right here. I want people to understand this very, very clearly. If you're in the United States and you're undocumented, you should not work. Point blank, simple. And
that's a tall order, Junior. That's a tall order.
But you cannot legally work if you don't have workers authorization.
I understand, but what about all the babysitters in Manhattan that are undocumented? What about the farm workers in Florida, the people that are picking apples, the people that are, that's a tall order because you have people that have lived here, Junior, the last 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
And they don't have no paper.
Yeah.
Are you going to tell them don't work? They have a couple kids.
I'm not saying don't work. I'm just saying legally.
Don't sign. And I would just say don't sign an I-9. If an employer gives you an I-9, that's an employment verification, I would not sign it. Just say, you know what, Mr. Employer, I'm not in a position to sign the I-9. If you want me to work in the kitchen off the books as a chef or something of that nature, sure. Off the books. And then you get your tax ID number, your ITIN, you get that from the IRS and you file your taxes.
Right. Should you open up a bank account?
If you can.
With that authorization,
some banks will open the account with or without a social. It just depends on the bank. I would say if you're opening up a bank account, make sure that there's one other person on it just in case, because I've had people with their bank accounts and they've gotten deported. And so you want to make sure there's somebody on that bank account that can balance it out.
718-701-5720, guys. We're talking immigration. We're talking immigration. I want you guys to ask your question, call in live on air and ask your question. The number that you call, 718-701-5720. That's the number on the screen right now. No, let me tell you guys something. I don't want anybody to call me tomorrow and say, could you ask the lawyer this? I want you guys to call and ask right now. But I understand some people don't want to talk on air. So you could call the lawyer directly. Her number is right there. Boom, you could contact her directly, 813-815-3529. And that's a consultation, right? Call and get your private consultation. She'll take care of you. You just have to say, right along. That's all you got to say. Right along. She got you. Right along. All right? And get your consultation right now from Attorney Deanna Winter Funday. Trump restrictions set to end on December 31st. Now what?
What's going to happen? Remember in March, the president put in all these restrictions. He put them on H-1B. He stopped our J's. He said H-1B workers, the J's were our summer work programs. All of those were delayed. And the president had given us, the current president has given us, he gave us until December 31st for all those restrictions to be, well, we don't know if they were going to be lifted, but he gave us until December 31st to say that's when he would make a determination, because he used a justification that for employment purposes, because of COVID, the country had lost a lot of jobs and they wanted to keep it that way. So he restricted our employees, our summer work study workers, and he gave us until December 31st. Now we don't know what is going to happen. I imagine if the president is leaving office on January 20th, he might just leave everything for Joe Biden to clean up. That's what I'm thinking he might do. So if and when the president, Joe Biden, comes in, then he might have to do some cleaning up of the ugly stuff that's left behind by the Trump administration.
More like when. Forget the if, when. They're going to get him out of there.
When?
Right? Here's a question from Reginald Amade. Says, I would love to know what states accept common law marriage for green card. Do you know of any?
I don't know of any states in the United States that accepts common law marriage. So immigration, the USCIS, any state that whatever marriage is recognized in the state, USCIS will recognize that marriage. For example, if same-sex marriage is recognized, then it will be recognized by immigration. I don't know. I would have to check with my family law people, but I don't know of a state in the United States that has common law marriage. I think marriage in the United States is statutory, meaning it's all in a statute and you have to follow that statute. If any family law attorneys are on here, you can join me in. But Reginald, I don't know of a state that have common law marriages that for immigration purposes.
And by common law, meaning that they're not legally married, they've been living together for XYZ amount of time.
Yeah.
I don't see that. I think that's a far throw for immigration.
That's very common in like the Caribbean or in Commonwealth countries, common law marriages, or in England. It's not a very American concept. I would have to consult with my family law practitioners. I don't want to overspeak Reginald on that.
Yeah. All right. 718-701-5720. Jennifer is saying some banks can freeze this account and you have difficulties reactivating without a social.
That is true. Be very careful with not every bank will give you an account. You have to seek out and do your research on which of the banks you can go to where you're able to obtain an account without having a social security number.
Yes. But here's an option, guys. Here's an option. If you live in the United States and you don't have a social security number, you don't have any of those items to get a bank account, you could get one of those those cards. It works like an account, right?
Like the cash cards?
A cash card. But it actually has an account number to it. You could deposit money onto that card.
Mm-hmm.
Even American Express has one.
Mm-hmm.
American Express have those card that you could have. You put money on it. You could, even if you travel, you could put money on it and pull it out from other banks. I mean, you get charged when you go to the ATM because they charge some $6 or so to take your money out. But if that's the last recourse and you cannot get a bank account, you could get one of those cards.
Yeah. And Kathy Banks Langane said that doesn't apply in the US. LOL. I imagine she's talking about common law marriages. I don't know if a state that does. It's very statutory, but I can do some more digging.
Right. Patrice. Hey, what's up, Patrice? I hope you're coming over for Thanksgiving, Patrice. Patrice.
Hey, Patrice.
If I put in for my citizenship, will the questions be the same or is going to change? If she put in like today.
It will be the old one. The new questions will go into effect December 1st. So if you put it now, Patrice, it will be the old one.
Okay. All right. Guys, a lot of information. We want to continue answering your question. We have a few minutes. 718-701-5720. Someone asked that we pin the number. I tried, but I don't know why Facebook not allowing me to pin. 718-701-5720. We got a breaking news here coming in from CNN, and that just came in. It says that current and former Trump official quietly reached out to the Biden team. So it seems that the little baby just started getting like his Pampers clean or something, and he just stopped overreacting and kind of come into reality. That's happening. I hope it could happen faster, guys. So that's just from CNN on the wire about the Biden team and what's going to happen. The transition look as if it's moving. Funday, we have a couple more minutes left. What else we need to touch on?
Let me check my notes to make sure we covered everything today. We talked about the visitor's visa.
Yes.
We talked about make sure that you go in and check to make sure CIS is rescheduling your file.
Yes.
The restrictions are set to end. Interviews, the only thing I would say with USCIS interviews now, do not bring any family members along. They will not be allowed into the buildings, especially in those cold states. Don't bring anybody. It's just you and your attorney, nobody else. They're not letting family members into the building, so keep that in mind. So don't bring any kids unless they're part of the, unless they'll be a part of the interview. They're set to benefit. Otherwise, they stay home.
Right. Okay. I had a question in mind. I just lost it. But we'll have next week again to talk again on immigration. Funday, thank you so much.
I'm so sorry I was late, guys.
No problem.
Wi-Fi was not letting me be great today.
And I lost power. I fixed it. It came back on. We didn't do our intro dance.
You gotta be strong in this time, son. I'm a survivor.
Yes.
I will survive. And I'm a firm believer.
Yeah, guys. Listen, we want you guys to keep supporting our local businesses. Keep supporting local businesses like Funday, man. She's in our community. She's always here. She take time out of her schedule to come and give you the information. Support local business.
Thank you, Patrice. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Livia. Thank you, Patricia Cornwall. Oh, you guys are amazing. Thank you. Gratitude.
Look. The lawyer is beautiful. Look at that. Look at all of this stuff. They love her. And
Thank you, Michelle Charles. Thank you, Sunil. Blessings to you also.
Thank you so much, Funday. We will catch you again next week.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
We could check you on Sunday on the
top 5 at 5 on Sunday.
Absolutely. Catch you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, guys. So that was Immigration 101. It's important. It's important stuff.
You gotta be firm in this time, son.
It's important stuff, guys. Pay attention. And I hope you guys took note of some of the things that she said, right? Especially with the part of working, if you're in the United States and you don't have your workers authorization, you don't have your you don't have a green card or workers authorization, it comes hand in hand. If you don't have those things, you can't work, right? Well, you should not work. If they catch you, and especially when you go into the process, sometimes people have an ID, right? And that happened to somebody that I know. They traveled and they came back into the United States and they had an ID on them. And the ID represents some business that they work for. And they found out that that person was working and they were denied. So be very, very careful. If you're in the United States and you're not documented, you cannot work on the books. It goes without saying, but it needs to be said anyway, right? Some people get off the books job, cash jobs, that's fine. But one thing we didn't touch on, but we touch on that all the time. If you are eligible, if you are in a relationship, you have a little girlfriend, you have a little boyfriend and thing, you guys could still marry and get your green card. That's still happening. You can still marry, you can still get your green card and still change your status. That still exists, all right? So you have a girlfriend, you have a boyfriend, you know, you go by the bar, you see somebody, or you're dating for a while, you know what I mean? Or you think about getting married and change your status here in the United States. There are still a lot of opportunities here. Now, for people that are home in Grenada, in Trinidad, in Jamaica, and you're thinking about coming up to the United States, now is probably not the best time. No, it's probably not the best time. Yeah, because it's a red zone over here. It's red over here. Coronavirus all over the place. And they know that. So they might question you a little bit more as to where you're going, who you're going to be staying with. And they go check you. They give you a second eye and thing. They give you a second look. So make sure that you have your story straight. Now, if you're filing for your visa, if you're applying for your visa, a lot of people, as the lawyer said, a lot of people are getting turned back because they're saying, well, Disney World closed. It's not like you're going to say you're going to Disney World. It's not like you're going to say, well, I'm just going to check out the place. There is not much stuff to check out right now, guys. People are staying indoors, trying to, you know, there's a lot of line in front of the emergency wards. That's the only thing I see, a whole set of people. Times Square, nobody in Times Square. Things not happen as it was before, guys. So they know that. And most of the time, a lot of people are getting turned back. So now is not the best time. But some people have emergencies. Some people have emergencies and you need to travel. And we understand. A funeral, something happened. Just make sure you have your story straight when you're coming up here. All right? Again, guys, let's wrap it up. Don't forget, if you need to contact the lawyer, Deanna Winter Funday, this is her number right here. Booyah. Contact her. Let she hook you up. Okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program. Tomorrow, we have Battle of the Sexes. Battle of the Sexes tomorrow. Drama Thursdays tomorrow. Peace out, guys. Thanks again to our sponsors, people who spend money to make sure that this program continue. Folks like Waggy T. Yeah, Waggy T Virtual Bingo. Megaforce Virtual Bingo. Win $20,000. Yeah, US $20,000. Wow. $20,000, guys. All you spend is only $20. Spend $20, win $20,000. Play bingo. The next bingo is on Sunday, November 29th. Yes, Sunday, November 29th. Tickets available at GoToFet. Yeah, GoToFet. Don't forget that the bingo time is at 6 p.m. and it's also live. Mega Force promotion, Waggy Virtual Bingo, US $20,000, November 29th. Get your tickets at GoToFet. Now, do you have or do you need a professional video production company? Yeah, to take care of that, whatever need that might be, a wedding, a funeral, a wedding. Yeah, people getting married virtually because they can't have a lot of people in the venue. A wedding, a funeral, whatever, a concert event, a small concert event, you need it streamed, professionally produced. Call the folks at Ridelaong Family right now. They stream your event live, professionally done, the best in the business. Professional video, professional streaming from Ridelaong Live and Ridelaong Family. Call for code 718-701-5720. Call Ridelaong Family now.
Just show me some strength. Don't it and show me a lot more. Strength. Don't it and show them who we are. Strength. Don't it and show me a lot more. Everybody strength. Don't it and show them who we are.
Now check this out. Hand sanitizer. Yeah, this is in Grenada. If you're in Grenada right now and you want to catch up on, you want to be protected when you ride a bus, when you go out, whatever. Get your personal hand sanitizer. It's small, it's compact, good to go. 70% alcohol by volume, bottled in Grenada by the Grenada Distillers Limited. Pick it up. Pick up two. Pick up one for you and one for your significant other. You got to protect everybody. It meets all international standards. 70% alcohol. Hand sanitizer. Manufactured by the Grenada Distillers Limited. Hey, do you have a business? Do you have a business and you want to advertise? A new business? A big business? A small business? Whatever business you have. Not people business, your business. Advertise your business on Ridelaong Live. Advertise. Call 718-701-5720. That's 718-701-5720. Advertise on Ridelaong Live. Peace out, guys. Don't forget. Also, I got to tell you about this. Oh, man, they're going to kill me if I don't tell you about this. It's important, though. Ridelaong Live is having our Curry Q, our fundraising Curry Q. Yes, our fundraising Curry Q. Now, the fundraising Curry Q is going to be on December 5th, right? December 5th here in New York. We're going to have the orders. You guys can start placing your orders for the Curry Q. We having all kind of curry thing. Curry this, curry that, curry, everything curry. Roti and all kind of thing. Curry shrimp, all kind of thing. Curry Q. Also, we're going to have the sweet potato pudding. Yeah? Sweet potato pudding, Grenadian style. Also, for Thanksgiving here in New York, we're taking orders for your sweet potato pudding. We're having sweet potato orders. We have the link that we're going to post out. So if you guys want to order, and guess what? We ship. So if you are outside, if you are within the US, anywhere in the US, we ship to the US. Not to Canada, it might take a little while, but US, we ship anywhere in the US for sweet potato pudding. Grenadian style sweet potato pudding. All right? We have the orders. You guys can start ordering from, I think from tomorrow. That link should be up. Peace out, guys. Thank you so much. Catch me tomorrow. Drama Friday, Thursday. All right, Ridelaong Live. Battle of the Sexes. Bye-bye.
Yo, just show me some strength. Don't it and show me a lot more. Strength. Don't it and show them who we are. Strength. Don't it and show me a lot more. Everybody strength. Don't it and show them who we are. That's when you're all.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
You're constantly thinking of food, but sometimes you just don't want to cook or want something a little different. That's when you call Tasties, preparing meals that you really love. Tasties, our mouth-watering food, would have you coming back every day. But hold on, we only prepare meals Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for now. Call early because we have a lot to serve and we would love to serve you. Tasties, we prepare the meals you love to eat. From macaroni pie to baked chicken, provision dumpling and saltfish, stewed chicken, curry chicken, baked chicken, rice and peas, salads, and more. Please call for daily menu. Call 425-0624 or 403-0411. You can pick up your meals from us or we deliver it to you. Tasties, food that's delicious.
You gotta be strong in this time, son. believer. I will survive, I will survive. And I'm a firm believer. We'll forever shine, just to stay alive. That simple means it. Nobody can hold me, man. Nobody can change my energy. Nobody can tell me sick. I will let alone negativity. Nobody can hold me, man. Nobody can change my energy. Nobody can, nobody can. Everybody show some strength. No weakness, so me let them go. Strength, no weakness, so them put it up. Strength, no weakness, so me